So the idea behind this place was to really create a little sanctuary because we are in the heart of Nelson Bay in the town center. So since this apartment is called AmadiyaMarina, we wanted to really showcase the Sri Lankan fishing industry. We commissioned a lot of Sri Lankan artists to showcase their skills. So around this apartment is really a celebration of all the talents and what Sri Lanka has to offer. So we're working with a very tight space. So this living room currently I'm sitting in has to double as a lounge space as well as dining. So the only thing that made sense to me is definitely an L-shaped sofa. It's a 3-seater sofa that turns into a banquette. So if you were to be sitting on the sofa side, it's actually soft cushions. It's made for lounging. And to the banquette side next to the dining table is actually firm cushions. So you would feel a little bit like you want to be upright, doing your work, eating your food. The dining table is glass and it sort of disappears. So when you come in, you don't want this massive furniture piece anchoring the whole room. It's almost like water. You don't see it after a while. I definitely knew I needed to bring this sort of sandy element. So you got this blue of the ocean, and then now you got the jute rug, which is mixed in woven, so it feels like moving sand. There was still something missing. I really wanted to bring in sort of a oomph to the place. So I really wanted to do something that I would find challenging too. And I thought, yeah, let's do a mural. Told my client, and my client said, well, where are you going to find an artist to do a mural? And I said, no, I'm going to do it. And he said, yeah, just go for it. And this is what it is, 160 hours spent drawing this. The central mural really ties in with the rest of the pendant light and the bedside table lamps. If you really look closely at these, they are actually hand painted, and you'd see a fish and a lotus floating around the base of the lamp. The kitchen was sort of given to me as that. We couldn't really do much with it but change the hardware. They had really clunky handles on all of the cupboards and drawers. So I took them out and then I changed them to oak handles, really softened up the kitchen, and the whole kitchen is white. So I really wanted a pendant light that was a statement piece. So I designed a pendant light sort of keeping in the same theme as the wall sconces. The base is hand painted and bringing the colors that you see throughout the apartment into this little tiny space. The bathroom is pretty white, so I wanted to give it a bit of an entrance. You might not notice in the architraves, the pelmet, the ceiling, there are 3 different blues that are used, so that's been brought into the laundry vestibule door. I just thought I'd give them a view while they're using the toilet. And interestingly, the photographs really resonate with the culture of Sri Lanka and give you a glimpse into the people of Sri Lanka. So while you're peeing, you get a view into that too. The face masks, the kolam faces, are quintessential Sri Lankan souvenirs. So when you're standing in front of this mirror, you'll have all of these funky faces looking back at you. So I thought that was the perfect place. The main bedroom, as you walk in, you will first be hit by the bed head that goes wall to wall, and that really is reminiscent of a ship window, the circle. So everything is to kind of take you back into the sea. You're in the beach, you're in the marina. We found a very small-time Sri Lankan artist who kindly made us this map of Sri Lanka, and it actually turned out to be a really great way to inform occupants of this apartment where to really visit in Sri Lanka in a very snapshot way. Still fishermen are very famous sightseeing in Sri Lanka. You'd find them in a lot of souvenir shops. But I really wanted to give them some functions, so I asked them to customize some hooks for me so they could hang their beach towels when they come. So it's no ordinary wall hook. So I collated old vintage Sri Lankan stamps that also related to marine, ocean life. Blow them up so that it's a beautiful art piece to look at. The guest bedroom is the largest bedroom in this apartment. You've got a single bed and a double bed. So you got to tie these two spaces, and we have the bed head going wall to wall to really unify the two beds. And in the middle of it is a custom made bedside table, very reminiscent of, beachy wood that you would find. It's very organic shape. It's actually designed by an Australian artist here in Sydney. And it was a labor of love for him because it was a very difficult piece. It was very big. It's carved into these little two holes that reflect the bed head round motifs. So this is a pet-friendly apartment. So I wanted a dog bed that also ties in with the beds. It's very hot here, so you gotta have a dog bed that is raised off the floor so they're not hot. So it's actually a cooling, comfortable bed for the furry little ones. It's a driftwood mirror to really bring in, again, the beach. It's very organic and it's gnarly, and it giving a different texture to the rest of the very soft kind of feel of the room. And right underneath it is a very vintage baroque looking almost, it shouldn't be there, it's too fancy for the space, but I really wanted to mix all the wooden elements. The floor is a different wood, the bedside table, so all these woods are kind of sitting harmoniously, just like in the environment, just hanging out together. I really wanted to concentrate on how can I light this space so that it is more interesting. The downlights were given to me as they are, but then I went ahead and thought, let's introduce many layers of lighting. Every project I would go vintage shopping, and this lamp was waiting for me. It was just a happy accident, and it's just perfect. The shell lamps are also custom made from Sri Lanka. I gave them a design. I wanted them to use the seashell theme, but I wanted to be fabric and soft so that when you're sitting here at night, I don't want any lights, just these lights to really give it a very calming mood, but also still remind you you're in a coastal environment. Really proud of the work I presented here because everything came together really well. I think it did justice to the artists who did collaborate on this project, and I really had fun curating the space for an Airbnb, and I can't wait to do more sort of rental properties, creating spaces that people can sort of take with them as they travel, and maybe think of this space one day like, oh, that apartment.